That's right, Snake Eyes and Timber Alpha Commandos. That's what we're taking a look at today. So, first up, just wanted to quickly mention that in the last podcast episode, I had mentioned where Guinevere from D&D, the Dungeons and Dragons figure, looked to be the mold they were using for this Timber. Well, upon inspecting it, and comparing and contrasting them, Guinevere's a lot bigger. So, not the same mold, but they did use this to kind of see how the articulation was going to work, and they actually improved upon it a little bit, gave it a little bit more movement on the Timber. The only thing that Guinevere can do that Timber cannot is the mouth closes and opens. But this head is a lot bigger than Timber's head, so kind of can fit a joint in there a lot easier with Guinevere, sorry. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and look at Timber. I'm going to move good old Snake Eyes out of the way. So, we've got there's a peg underneath here. Let's go ahead and pop him off. So it's got a lot of articulation. If it was maybe just a hair bigger, you could come down a lot more. But his head goes down. Just on that joint, he can come up this high, down that high. Got some movement. And then you get that neck joint, it can come up. So he can come up to that high. Or he can go down that high. I've seen some people with a mod already for him that kind of gives him enough to where he can go down and kind of sniff. So he's got a couple dumbbells here. Might be able to see underneath there. He's got a hinge and swivel here at I guess his elbow, whatever that would be. And then there's this cool joint here on the forearm, which let's go ahead and do it on this one. So it can come down that far, can come up that far, and then a forward-facing pin for rocker on the actual paw there. I'm gonna see his little toes right there. So he can come pretty far back if you for some reason wanted him to do that. And then forward, he has a tough little thing to move, but forward you can come an unreasonable amount there. So if you just wanted him to look like he needs medical attention, you can do that. These back legs are the exact same. Now with the smaller body, they kind of move a little bit easier, like the smaller part of the body. He's got that joint there, and then there's a cut here. Can go on kind of a rotate. Then his tail has a hinge here. Come up that high, down that high. Now obviously, depending on the way you angle that tail, it's going to look a lot different. But a lot of movement there. He comes with an alternate head. Pop it back on here. This is, I guess I didn't do the joint too long because you were worried about breaking it, but even the way the joint is here, I almost want to boil and pop it just like that. But look at that. I mean, the little scarring here on the forehead, those eyes are beautiful. See if you can see that there at the camera or not. Paint detail on it is amazing. The different colors working together. As you see him in the light differently, it kind of changes the way he looks. He can come, I guess that's another thing I can show you. He can come out pretty wide if you wanted like a really wide down stance. Come up. There's a lot of things you can do with this. I'm excited to see people that are more talented than I am do some really cool pictures with him, because you can do a lot. So let's move on to the main man himself, Snake Eyes. Here he is. There's a little bit of trouble showing up on camera because he's all black, but he looks to somewhat reuse a lot of the beachhead mold, but definitely a little bit of different tooling here and there, and then the web gear is going to be different. But if you have a beachhead, you can get a general feel for him. So pretty much the same articulation as you got on most figures. You can come up that high. You can look down right around in there. Nice little swivel around there. Head tilt, not so much, but pretty good range all the way around, of course. Shoulders come up that high. Kind of a bicep cut. Double jointed elbows can come up pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to complain. If you're as jacked as Snake Eyes, probably wouldn't be able to come up any higher than that in real life. He's got a up and down on his left hand. So, on the right hand, he is in and out. So he's really good at posability. He's got the same legs as pretty much every classified figure, I believe. With that kind of dumbbell, can kind of come up, kind of come down, cheated around. Got a thigh cut hidden by these bands, similar to the other releases of Snake Eyes. Got double jointed knees. He's still a little tight, so can't get all the way there. Oh, maybe with a little pressure he can get there. I don't know if you'd want to do that regularly, but I don't know. I haven't watched Robo's review yet. See what he says about it. It's got a cut in the shin, so you can swivel around. It's got forward-facing pin for rocker there. That joint, he can come up, not very high with the shin guards. He can come down fairly well. Pretty good articulation on this thing. Paint is pretty simple. There is a little bit of different colorations. When you get them in hand, like the bands are a little different. The webbing is a little different. They do a decent job on it. There's a little bit of like cuts and stuff in here. It's got different textures. That helps it a lot. I know a lot of people are complaining about this right here, this 00 with the G.I. Joe logo, or this version of the logo. It's not my favorite, but it's not terrible. Might eventually do a little bit of black paint there, but we'll see. So let's move on to his accessories. So if you see, he's got this nice sheath here for this knife, and I think Crocodile Dundee would be pretty happy with that. That's if I'm not mistaken, that's the biggest knife that we've got in the classified. I think it's a little bit bigger than Beachhead's knife. And then he's got his handgun here. I don't know if this is modeled after everything or anything specific, but you'll see it has a little bit here on the end for the silencer, which let me go ahead and pull that out. Silencer fits onto the pistol similar to the deluxe release. Oop. Nice little silenced pistol. And then his other gun that the silencer works on is his SMG, his Uzi, his whatever you want to call it. This might be the same as the deluxe as well, which if it is, cool, more people getting the gun. I really like the way this works. My deluxe always has this gun with him. This version of Snake Eyes will probably not use this Uzi just because I've got him on the deluxe. I'll probably give him his assault rifle or something. So moving on to those next, he's got an actual SMG here. Mine got a little bit warped, you might be able to tell there. But both of these next guns we're going to talk about do have the removable mags, and they have the socket there, if you can tell. I don't know if my hand makes it any better or not. But to where you can plug in some of those small effects. I know a lot of Marvel Legends have them. Really cool, really good design, really solid. Same thing with this kind of assault rifle looking thing. This is a little bit unique. Same thing, it's got the removable mag. And I just want to say, the removable mags on these work very well. You might have heard that click, you might not. There's a little click when you actually put it in. Some people do removable mags and it gets a little difficult to keep them in. I mean, it's when you're working with that much plastic, I can't imagine it's super easy. Same thing, it's got the plug there on the end for the effect piece, if you can see that or not. I need to get some of those effect pieces so I can start showing everybody off what they are. So that is his accessories. Let's get into a few comparisons. Let me Move him over just a hair. First up, compare him to Beachhead, since that's who he shares his mold with, or at least mostly shares his mold with. There's those guys together. Looks like it's about the same height. Let's see, is that knife? Oh yeah, his knife's at least thicker than Beachhead's knife, but not bad. And then we'll compare him to our deluxe Snake Eyes. Like I said, looks like our Alpha Commando's a decent bit taller, but that Uzi does look to be pretty much the same. Not identical. Get my hand out of the way, sorry. Let's pull it out of his hand. So we've got the deluxe on the right, this version on the left. If there is a difference, it's escaping my eyes. Then we've got our last G.I. Joe comparison, our Snake Eyes origin movie, Snake Eyes, with the karate chopping action. I'll be doing a review of him here shortly, but he's a little bit more difficult to stand up and a little bit smaller. I believe they're about 5.5 inches on these core figures. If you do Black Series, you want to see how they fit together. He's a little bit taller than our clone General Obi-Wan Kenobi. A little bit shorter than our Mattel Amber Collection Dr. Ian Malcolm. And then our last size comparison is Captain America himself from the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. So check these out. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions about the figure, maybe I can help you out. Or, you know, you just want to tell me you hate it, you love it, give us some feedback for the next review we do. I'd love to hear from you. Remember, anything's available for discussion here at Anything Goes.